That night was ordinary, until it wasn't. I'm Harper, rinsing plates, Cole skimming headlines, Lila coloring stars on the rug. Then she whispers, "Mom, would you love me if I was bad?" My laugh died in my throat. Later I find out, Grandma Diane and Aunt Sabrina secretly took her to a coach named Brooke at Pure Bloom Studio, paid with my card. And Brooke told my 7-year-old, "No one can love a girl like you unless you learn to be smaller." Smaller. My kid snapped a crayon and asked, "Should I stop being me? Tell me, if you were me, what would you do? Do I burn it all down or play nice?" Drop your take in the comments, and stick around. This isn't drama, it's war. Subscribe if you're with me. I'm Harper, and I remember the exact sound the dishwasher made when my life tilted, like a low hum turning into a siren only I could hear. Cole was flipping a page he wasn't reading, and Lila was on the rug sketching a sun that took up the whole paper, which used to be her favorite way to say, "I'm here." Then came the question that cracked the world open. "Mom?" she asked, voice barely there. "Would you still love me if I was bad?" I laughed for half a second out of habit, then the laugh just died. Her crayon paused, her shoulders tightened. I knelt. "Bad how, baby?" She swallowed, eyes shiny like she'd done something unforgivable. Like, if I'm too much, if I take up too much space. Have you ever felt your blood go cold while your body keeps moving? That was me reaching for her backpack, with hands that didn't feel like mine. Tucked into a side pocket, I found a pastel card with rounded corners. Brooke Avery, Child Confidence Coach, Pure Bloom Studio. A number. A tagline in soft cursive that might as well have been a knife. Helping kids shine with humility. I called. Voicemail. A syrupy voice saying, "Hi, you've reached Brooke at Pure Bloom. Remember, small hearts fit best in big families." My ears went hot. I turned to Lila. "Who took you?" Her mouth trembled. "Grandma Diane and Aunt Sabrina. They said, it's for my own good." Let me say this clearly. I didn't authorize any of it. But as I opened my banking app, the truth scrolled down like a confession. Pure Bloom Studio, $220, $320, $280. Dozens of charges stacked like bricks around my kid's light. Paid with my card, my card. If you're watching this, tell me, would you breathe? Would you scream? Drop a comment because I need to know what decent people do when they realize their child's voice has been purchased and silenced with their own money. I stared at Lila's newest drawing, tiny version of herself standing beneath a huge word bubble. Less. I asked, "Who told you that?" She whispered, "Miss Brooke says people love you more when you're not so loud." Then the line that should haunt them forever. She said, "No one can love a girl like you unless you learn to be smaller." Smaller, for a 7-year-old. If that doesn't punch you in the throat, check your pulse. I hit dispute so fast the browser lagged. Every Pure Bloom charge. Unauthorized. Every autopay I'd set up for my parents, for the family help, sliced off like dead branches. When Cole asked, "What's going on?" I said it, flat and steady, because fury had burned the tremble out of my voice. They taught our daughter to disappear. Lila flinched, like she'd been caught taking up air. I pulled her close and said into her hair, "I will never ever love you less for being more." She exhaled like she'd been underwater for months. Next morning, I booked an urgent session with a real therapist. Diplomas on the wall, not vibrational affirmations on a corkboard. Lila sat curled in the corner of the couch, twisting the hem of her shirt. The therapist listened, didn't flinch, didn't minimize. She said, "Harper, what I'm hearing is repeated messaging that her natural expression is harmful. That's not coaching, that's harm." My jaw clenched so tight I tasted copper. Lila was 7 and being trained to apologize for existing. That afternoon, I started the file. Screenshots of bank statements, a recording of Brooke's voicemail, a screen capture of Pure Bloom's website where my name had been slapped under a glowing testimonial I never wrote. "My daughter Lila is so much calmer now. Thank you, Brooke. Harper F. Fabricated, illegal. I printed everything. I labeled everything. If you've ever been called too intense, you know what happens when we turn that intensity toward protection? It becomes precision. Before bed, Lila asked, "Mom, if I laugh too loud tomorrow, is that bad?" I looked her in the eyes and said the sentence I will repeat until my voice fades. "Your laughter is not a crime." She nodded like she wanted to believe me, like belief would take practice. To everyone watching, if you've ever been told to shrink, type "I won't." In the comments, every "I won't" is a brick in the wall I'm rebuilding around my girl. Like this if you're angry. Share it if you're furious. Because what came next? It needs witnesses. And here's the hook you didn't know you'd get tonight. When I pulled the last folder from our old file box, I found a contract with a name I knew too well. Sabrina. A temporary business loan. $40,000. My signature. Her promise. And one clause that rang like a bell in a quiet church. Personal liability upon failure. I didn't know it then, but that clause would be the match I was about to strike. I didn't text. I didn't warm up the conversation. I set the stage with facts. The file, tabbed, dated, airtight. I invited them to talk in person because some truths deserve to be spoken where faces can't hide behind emojis. They arrived in a storm. Diane stiff with indignation. Sabrina brittle and glossy, the kind of pretty that never survives a close-up. Cole stood by the doorway, calm, quiet, a lighthouse when the weather lies. I laid the pastel business card on the table. "This," I said, "is a weapon you used on my child." Diane bristled. "Don't be theatrical, Harper. We were balancing Lila out. She can be overwhelming." "Overwhelming," I repeated. "She's 7, not a hurricane." Sabrina's smile cracked. "We just wanted Grace to feel okay. Lila takes all the oxygen." There it was. Not concern, competition. Not love. Envy in a sweater set. Brooke told my daughter, "No one can love a girl like you unless you learn to be smaller." I wanted to watch the words land. Sabrina flinched and then, God help her, she nodded like it had merit. "It's not cruel if it helps her." Cole stepped forward. "It's cruel. And you knew it." Diane's voice sharpened. "You always were dramatic, Harper. Money doesn't give you the right to..." "To what? Protect my kid?" I asked. "Or to fund your lessons in erasure?" Then I placed the printouts like cards in a courtroom. Bank charges, voicemail transcript, website captures, the fabricated testimonial with my name, criminal impersonation. "You used my card without permission," I said. "That's fraud." Sabrina's eyes darted. "It's family. We share." "No, we don't," I said, my voice so calm it startled me. "We never did. I gave. You took." Here's where some of you will say I went too far. Tell me in the comments if you think that, because I'm honestly curious. I reached into the folder and slid out the loan agreement. "Remember this?" I asked. Sabrina's face drained. "That was years ago. And never repaid." I tapped the clause. "Personal liability upon failure." Diane stepped in front of her daughter like I'd pulled a gun. "You wouldn't dare." I looked at Lila's crayon sun still taped to our fridge. "Watch me." The legal steps were straightforward because I made them so. I called the attorney who closed on our house and said, "Draft a demand letter for $40,000 plus interest, citing breach and bad faith. Include a 10-day cure." Then I filed a complaint with the state board for unlicensed practice and deceptive advertising. I attached the evidence folder and a note so short it could slice. Child harmed by unlicensed provider. Parent never consented. Identity misused to fabricate endorsement. Sabrina erupted. "You're going to ruin me!" She screamed, palms up like I was the sky and she was owed sunlight. "You did that," I said. "You made my kid afraid of herself." Diane's hands shook. "Harper, be reasonable. Grace is sensitive." "Then raise her to stand tall," I said, "not to kneecap my daughter." Cole's voice was calm steel. "You need to leave." They didn't. Of course they didn't. Not before Sabrina threw one last dart. People love Lila because she shows off. She needed to be less. That was the moment something in me went shock quiet. My daughter will never audition for your approval, I said. We're done. 10 days later, the letter went out. On day 3, a frantic text from Sabrina. Can we talk? On day 4, Diane called Cole to get to me. On day 5, Brooke's website went maintenance mode. And then I saw a flurry of edits on cached pages, certifications disappearing like footprints in rain. On day 6, I got a terse email from a lawyer who'd clearly drawn the short straw. We dispute your characterization. Cute. On day 8, the state board acknowledged receipt of the complaint. On day 9, a fraud investigator left a voicemail asking for a callback. On day 10, Sabrina sent an email timestamped 11:59 p.m. I need more time. This is cruel. Let me say this for the record. Boundaries are not cruelty. Boundaries are grief with a backbone. If you're watching this and you're the responsible one, the designated fixer, the wallet with legs, hit like if you've been told don't make a big deal. Share if you've heard you can afford to be generous right after someone steals from you. The check didn't arrive on day 10. What arrived was a car in our driveway and fists on our door. We let them in. Witnesses present. Hi, Cole. Diane tried honey first. We love Lila. We just thought she needed guidance, I asked. Guidance or sanding down? Sabrina cried pretty tears. I didn't mean to hurt her. You hired someone to tell her she's unlovable unless she's quiet, I said. You meant to change who she is. Then I closed the folder. This part's not up for debate, I told them. Pay the debt. Pull down every trace of my name. Cooperate with the investigation. And never take my child anywhere without my consent again, Diane whispered. You hate us. I shook my head. I finally believe you. They left in a kind of silence I've only heard after a storm, the kind that makes you check the roof and count the windows. I tucked Lila in that night. She asked, Do I get to laugh at school tomorrow? Yes, I said. Laugh so the walls learn your name. If you'd have told me a month earlier that I'd be the mother who chooses court filings over family dinners, I might have flinched. Now, I choose my daughter's future every time. Subscribe if you think family stops where harm begins. Because here's the twist. Consequences don't just end a story. Sometimes they start the healing. If you want the cinematic version, here it is. Pure Bloom Studio goes dark. The Instagram with pastel quotes and curated smiles gets scrubbed. Brooke's credentials, which turned out to be a weekend workshop and a printable badge, evaporate from the internet like sugar under rain. The state board sends a letter that says a lot without saying everything. We have determined the provider lacks licensure to offer clinical services. Further action pending. Translation: the music stopped and there aren't enough chairs. Sabrina's attorney ping-pongs emails. Delay, diminish, deflect. But paper has weight, and my file was heavy. In the end, a cashier's check arrived, stapled to a settlement letter that tried to sound gracious while bargaining with gravity. $40,000 plus interest, debt satisfied in full. I stared at the words until they blurred, and when I read them out loud, Cole just nodded like a promise had kept itself. Diane sold a few things. Sabrina sold more. I didn't ask from where. It wasn't revenge. It was arithmetic. I won't pretend the house turned into a fairy tale cottage overnight. Healing is not a montage. It's a long hallway with the same picture frames, but the faces inside are steadier. Lila still asked permission to laugh for a while. She still paused at doorways, like a room required an apology. But the therapist gave us language. We practiced. We named the old voice, the shrinker, and every time it whispered, we answered with truth. Your voice is welcome. You don't have to earn air. Your sparkle belongs to you. Say it with me in the comments if you need it. I don't have to earn air. One afternoon, Lila brought home a painting, a sun so big it bled over the edges. She said, "Is big okay?" I told her, "Big is beautiful." She grinned, teeth missing, childhood fully back on her face, and for the first time in weeks, I heard her hum again. If that sound were a color, it would be clear. Here's the part that will make some viewers mad, and honestly, I want it to. Diane sent a text that said, "We did our best. You're ungrateful." There it is, the anthem of those who harm and call it help. I typed back a sentence I wish someone had given me when I was little. Love that demands your silence isn't love. Then I blocked her, and I didn't explain it to anyone. Boundaries don't require a TED Talk. They're a door with a lock and a key you keep. As for Brooke, I didn't follow the fallout like a spectator at a train wreck. I forwarded what the investigators asked for. Then I turned my phone face down and went outside with my kid. We drew sidewalk constellations. We named one after every girl who's ever been told to be less. The loud laugh, the big bright, the not sorry. Neighbors walked by, a few new pieces of the story. One mother whispered, "Thank you for saying it out loud." If you're hearing this, maybe you needed permission too. Consider this it. Like this video if it helps. Share it if you know a parent who's second-guessing that gut feeling. Because let's tell the whole truth. I was that parent once. I apologized for asking questions. I accepted explanations that rubbed my skin the wrong way. I believed balance meant dimming the brightest bulb so the others didn't squint. Never again. Not in this house. Not for this girl. The night before the school art show, Lila taped her son to the fridge. "If I win," she said, "can I yell?" "You can yell either way," I said. "Winning isn't why we're loud." She laughed and made a sound like a firework. She won first place the next day, yes. But what felt like winning was watching her stand tall without looking for permission. She held her certificate like a ticket to somewhere only she gets to map. People say money changes families. No. Money reveals them. The day the check cleared, my phone lit up with a number I didn't recognize. I let it go to voicemail. Brooke again. "If you'd like to resolve this privately..." I deleted it without listening twice. Privacy is where harm grows. Sunlight is my new hobby. So here's my last ask, and it matters. If you've ever been made to feel like your brightness is a problem, drop bright in the comments. If you're raising a kid who's been told to shrink, type grow. If you're the aunt or the grandma who thinks for her own good justifies smallness, sit with this. My child is not your lesson plan. And to everyone else, subscribe if you believe that too much is just the right size for a world that keeps asking girls to vanish. This isn't a revenge story. It's a boundary story. It's a mother picking up a match and saying, "The only thing I'm burning is the script that told my daughter to be less, and in the glow of that little fire, I can finally see us, full-sized, unedited, taking up every inch we were promised." Here's where I land. I'm Harper, and I chose my kid over keeping the peace. I pulled the plug, sent the letters, closed the door. And yeah, some nights I still ask myself in the dark, am I in the wrong? Not because I doubt the harm, God, that part is clear, but because saying no to family can feel like cutting your own name in half. What I learned, love without boundaries is just permission for someone else to write your story. My job isn't to raise a smaller child, it's to raise a safe one, a loud one, a whole one. The money, the fallout, the whispers, none of it matters more than Lila's laugh filling a room again. That sound is my proof. If you were me, what would you have done? Burn it all down or keep it quiet? Tell me in the comments. Share this if you know a parent who's second-guessing their gut. Like it so this message reaches someone who needs it tonight. And if you want more unpretty truths told with receipts and a heartbeat, hit subscribe. I'm not perfect. I'm just done apologizing for protecting a child. That's the lesson I'm keeping. Choose the kid, every time. Even if your hands shake.